Hello and what is up guys, my name is Jager-M from Screencasters and I'm coming to you now with the long-awaited deck profile update of my Pendulum Magicians to the channel. If you guys want to see this deck in action, there'll be a link to the duels down below as well as the top right side of your screen. It is just amazingly fun and I love this build so much. It does really suck that we lost our 2 Pendulum calls and our 1 monkey board, but that will not stop me from playing this deck because it's super fun and there's still a ton of potential there. So yeah, I'm very excited to show you guys this build, and as with all my deck profiles, there'll be a link down below to some amazing tech card choices that you guys can try in this deck yourselves. So yeah, check out the description box for that. Don't forget to like the video, and yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So we're doing 3 Pendragon. This is something I actually want to talk about for a second. I have a theory for 3 Pendragon. You cannot brick if you play 3 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. If you need a level 7 monster to go into Flare Metal or go into Big Eye or Absolute Dragon for some more combo plays, he can help with that because he's level 7. If you need a big Synchro play, he helps you get into Clear Wing as well as Meteor Burst. If you need a certain scale, you can put him in the Pendulum Zone and end phase get a search for whatever scale you need. You can also theoretically search out Kieran by putting him in the Pendulum scale and search out your Bun Buns. And he's always searchable because of Sky Iris and Joker. You just cannot brick with Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon unless you draw all 3 of them. So that's my reasoning for playing 3. For the Majespecters, we just got 1 Kieran and 2 Bun Bun. A lot of people play 3, I just like 2. Drawing multiple Bun Buns is terrible. I mean, he could search himself, but most of the time, you don't want to do that. You want to search out Kieran. If you want to find room for 3 and try it out, go for it. I just do not like it. The fact that he's a 5 scale really hurts it for me. But 2 Bun Buns does perfect for me. So that's it for the Majespecters of the deck. For the Magicians, we got 3 Dragon Pit, 2 Oath, 1 Noble Dragon, and 1 Wisdom Eye. I cut down on the Magicians a lot. I want to find room for a Time Breaker, but that'll be for another day. Insight's really good. He's a level 4, which has synergy with the deck. If you have any of your Performapals, you can get into whatever scale that you need, so that works. I didn't know he worked with Performapals, so that works very well. As well as the original Magicians, Noble Dragon is one of the best discard fodder in this deck, because it comes back from the graveyard, which is really good. And if you need anything you discarded with Dragon Pit to pop back row, Oath can get it back for you. And Oath is one of the best stepping stones going to Beyond, which helps you OTK with your Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. But almost always you want to have these guys in scales. They just have the best scale effects in the game, in my opinion, especially in this deck. So that's it for the Magicians of the deck. For a big Performapal Engine, we got 2 Unicorn, 2 Performapal Sorcerer, 2 Lizard Draw, 1 Guitar Turtle, 1 Radish Horse, 1 Odd Eyes Phoenix, and 1 Joker. The whole reason you run this engine is because of the Pot of Greed and because of Joker. Once Persona Dragon comes out, I'm going to be cutting the Phoenix for it. The fact that it's a 3 scale is it's just so bad, but you have to search it because it's your only searchable low scale with Iris. But once Odd Eyes Persona Dragon comes out, I'm going to be taking this out for it. I do 2 Lizard Draw. It's really great. It helps you go into Nirvana, which really helps. Basically, you go into Noble with your Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, make Meteor Burst, and then Pendulum summon your Lizard Draw, and then just go off from there. Radish Horse helps you get away from Anti-Spell Fragrance. It's searchable with your Jokers. So basically, you normal summon Joker, your opponent has a special summon monster, search out your Radish Horse, special summon, go into Castel, and spin that Anti-Spell so you can actually have your deck back, you know? Pot of Greed play is still really good. It does kind of get bricky if you don't have Iris, but since we play 3 Terraforming, it's totally fine. 2 Sorcerer, I do not see the need for 3. This card can brick, and you don't have too many targets because you can be cycling through these guys very easily with your Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer, with Iris, and all the popping. So this is the Performapal Engine. It works very well. It basically became the biggest engine of the deck because of how great it is, but honestly I'd rather play more Magicians, but this is what's working for me right now. One more thing, the reason you play Radish Horse instead of like Silverclaw is because Radish Horse is a searchable level 4 low scale pendulum monster that can be searched out with your Sorcerer. Radish Horse being a 3 scale really helps some consistency. So yeah, and special summonable, so that's really good. For last Pendulum monster, we got 1 Eccentric. I want to play 2 of her, but she does get bricky sometimes. It helps you get rid of back row if you don't have Pit, and it's an instant out to like almost any monster to stop you. Basically, if Thunder King Ryo is on field, you normal summon this, pop them, and then search your stuff and go off from there. It's really nice. For last of the monsters, you got 2 Apex Avian and 2 Max C. Basically the stun cards of the main deck. This deck very much so thrives on going first, but Max C is just incredibly powerful if you don't go first. Basically, you want to go first. If you don't, you want to see the Max C to get some extra draws and draw into your combo pieces, and hopefully stop your opponent from setting up a bunch of back row and a big board that you have to deal with. And Avian is so good because Kieran's at 1, so you can't do the Kieran Avian lock as much, but it's still really good. It helps make your boards bigger and helps make them a little harder to get through your scales and monsters. So that's it for the main deck monsters. On for the spells. 3 terraforming and 2 of the best card of the main deck. You need Iris in this build. However, I don't want to brick my deck by having 3 of them. If I was playing Pot of Desires, I would play 3 Iris, but you have more than enough ways to search it with the 3 terraforming. So basically you have 5 ways to search Iris. I always see it when I need it, so I don't want to brick by having multiples. It is a true once per turn. So if they MST it, it does suck if you have another in hand, but I rather run the 3 terraformings than 2 Iris than vice versa. I don't want to play 3 because I don't want to brick with 3 because this deck can brick, but I want to reduce that as much as possible, which I basically did. This deck hardly ever bricks now. You always have a play which is very, very good. 2 Twin Twisters. A lot of people like MST. I like Twin Twister though. This deck cannot play around a Solemn very easily. If you Pendulum summon a bunch of monsters and they negate that summon, you are fucked. So sniping as much of it as you can is really good. It helps us ensure your plays go through, which is very important for this deck. And you have enough to discard, and whatever you discard you get back with Oath, so it's more than fine. Our 1 Pendulum Call, I hate that this card got limited, but I can't really say it's unjustified. This card is broken, and it's amazing, and you always want to see it. 1 Ignite Reload. It's a 1-of tech, I like it. It helps unbrick your hands, which is very good if you have a bunch of mismatched scales or a bunch of Performapals and stuff. I really do like it, and it doesn't go minus like Magical Mallet. You draw 1 extra card, so it doesn't make you go minus, which is very good. Helps you get into the scales you need. And last of the spells, 1 Odd Eyes Fusion. Another card if you go second, just like the Max C. It's a very good card, and it's almost always live with your Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. So I do like it. Getting access to Odd Eyes Vortex is very good. It's basically your Quasar play, and this is searchable off your Sky Iris, so I see no reason not to play it. It is arguably a win harder card, but you can steal a lot of games with it. And last, the main deck, 2 Traps. I keep going back and forth with them, but 2 Solemn Scolding. This card is amazing. It helps you against the other Solemn cards. Now what I mean by that is if you have this already set, and you can basically do your big Pendulum summon. If they activate any Solemn card, you can activate this, lose 3k, and then negate their Solemn card, because it's basically Judgment if it's the only thing set. So what you basically do is summon everything and hopefully bait out the strike, and then Scolding it, and then you'll be free. So basically this helps make sure your plays go through, and it makes your big boards bigger. It makes your unbreakable boards a lot harder to get through. So it's really good. I like this card. It helps your deck basically stun a lot more, helps with the going first aspect of the deck. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. On for the extra. We're doing 1 Nirvana because you can make him. Nirvana is really good. Basically when he declares an attack, your opponent's life points becomes half, and that's not damage, it becomes half, which is amazing. Basically 4,000 to your opponent for free if they have a monster. It's really good, and you can get back your Pendulum Call, which is very nice. Basically the best way to summon this guy is make Meteor Burst, Pendulum summon your Lizard Draw or something, and then go from there. It's really nice, and a nice 1-0. 1 Ignister because Noble Dragon and Light Phoenix. Light Phoenix is searchable with Sky Iris, which you run 5 of, so it's nice. I like it, and it really helps in the mirror match. It helps against Cosmos as well. For level 7s, we just do 2, 1 Clearwing and 1 Meteor Burst. Sometimes you can put your one of your 3 Odd Eyes in the scale, go into Meteor Burst, special summon it, and go into Absolute. And if they do anything to Absolute, you can go into your Vortex Dragon, which is just amazing. It's Quasar, 3k defense. It's just awesome, and it bounces on summon, so it's a very good card in general. So that's it for the Odd Eyes and Synchro side of the deck. We do 1 rank 3, which is Totem Bird because of multiple Buns. There's no other rank 3 I would rather go into. I mean, arguably you can go into Grand Pulse, but Grand Pulse doesn't negate, it just destroys. So this helps make your boards Regeki proof. We have a bunch of rank 4s. We got 1 Dweller, 1 Magister, 1 Castell for the Radish Horse, and 1 Trapeze Magician. Almost all of your level 4s are Spellcasters, so getting the double attacks really enables game. One thing you could do is use this, target your Absolute, make it attack twice, and then when it blows up, you can go into Vortex, which is just awesome. Trapeze is one of the best cards of the deck. Helps you OTK. Castell to get rid of Anti-Spell Fragrance. Magister to fix your basically bad hands. And Abyss Dweller for any kind of matchup you're not sure of. It's a good defensive rank 4, but arguably you can take it out for a giant hand. But most of the time when you're going into the extra deck, you're going to something that your main deck can't get rid of, and we have more than enough ways to get rid of monster effects. So that's it for the rank 4s of the deck. We only do one rank 6, which is Utopia Beyond. Basically, you make this with the Oath Dragons, or with Kirin and the Oath Dragons. You don't really want to overlay into a rank 6 unless you're going for game, and since you have 3 Pendragons, you have more than enough ways to do the Odd Eyes OTK, because it makes all their opponent's monsters 0, which is non-targeting, which is very good, and then Odd Eyes attacks for 5,000, and then 3k for game. It's really good, and one of the best and easiest OTKs out there. For rank 7s, we do 1 Flare Metal, 1 Big Eye, and 1 Absolute. There's not too many good rank 7s at the moment, so these are the best ones for me. Flare Metal, you don't go into it often, but you usually do it to basically seal your games. Big Eye to take monsters you can't normally get rid of, and Absolute to basically go for more defensive play or OTK play if you use Meteor Burst as material. And 1 Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon to make sure your Odd Eyes Fusion is always live. So yeah guys, that's my Performapal Odd Eyes Magician deck profile. It's a really fun deck, and no, Pendulums are not dead. They're just very hurt right now, but that does not mean we can't still play and we can't still win. There is a ton of fun things you can do with this deck. This is just my interpretation. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. And as with all my deck profiles, click the description box, you can see a long list of tech cards you can try out in Odd Eyes Magicians. And once again, if you guys want to see this deck in action, you want to see all this played out for yourselves, click the description box and you will see basically a link to the duels, and hopefully you guys like that video too. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.